Hey guys, I'm Louis, and welcome to my next video. So in this one I'm going to be talking about the new FIFA 16 news which we have got from Gamescom. I'm essentially going to be just summing up why FIFA 16 is looking to be the most exciting FIFA game in recent, in the last 5 years or so. It just looks absolutely incredible, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Let's not mess about. So it has been Gamescom from the last couple of days. I'm not sure if it's still going on. I think it might have like another day or so or something like that, but we've got all the FIFA news we've got pretty much. I don't think there's going to be any more for quite a while. Don't know if there's any more events coming up. I mean, there's Eurogamer, I think, but I'm not entirely sure if that will have more news and stuff. But we've finally got details for FIFA 16 Ultimate Team, and my god, it looks amazing. We've got the confirmed card designs, which you can see on the screen right now, which were they were shown a few days before Gamescom, I believe, or on the first day of Gamescom, and yeah, they look really tidy. I'm not really sure about the non-rares, they look a bit weird, but I love the informs, especially the gold Team of the Week informs, which just look absolutely class. And then I'm literally struggling to just talk about this because it's so exciting and so I didn't expect it at all. I mean, we had some rumours that there'd be something like this, but we weren't entirely sure. But then when it just came out that the Ultimate Team draft mode was going to be in FIFA 16, it was just mind-blowing. And when I saw the trailer with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, I was absolutely blown away by what EA had done and how innovative they'd actually been, because we've said for years that EA haven't really changed a lot of stuff in the actual game from year to year, and now they've done this. And it's essentially, if you don't already know, you essentially pay either 15,000 coins, 300 FIFA points, or use a draft token which can get in packs similar to like free packs and stuff like that. And you essentially do that, and then it comes up with the menus, and it'll have a thing where you can pick your formation, and each time you go on it and take part in this, it'll have different sets of formations. So there might just be complete, like all 4 or 5 formations you can choose from one time. There might have just been formations you've never tried in your life, like on the game, and you just might think, oh, I've got to go for this one, and you'll pick it, and then you'll have to build a squad. You'll start off by getting given a choice of captains, which will change each week and each time you go on it, because obviously each week, obviously you have the informs, the Team of the Week, they all play a part of it, but you get to choose from all these captains. There'll be about 5 of them, and they'll just have some random players. They're normally high caliber, the more expensive type of players. Like, I mean, in the trailer with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, they had Messi come up, and they picked Messi because obviously it's one of the best players in the world and on the game. And it just comes, you couldn't pick all sorts of players. It'd come up, just for example, it might come up with Neymar, Lewandowski, Royce, Hazard, and then maybe like, I don't know, Suarez or someone like that. It would just come up with completely random cards. It might say during Team of the Year as well, which is very exciting, and other events, Team of the Season, any team of the tournaments we might have. You'll be able to get those in the draft mode, and I think this is great because it means that more people will be able to access the more expensive players and the better players that they probably wouldn't have ever tried before, because they're just too rare or too expensive for them to purchase with coins, or too scarce to get in packs. I just think it's a great idea. And also I like the fact that even if once you've built your team, forgot to say that once you've built your team, you go into a tournament, there's 4 games, and each game the prize that you get gets bigger and more important, not valuable, that sort of thing. But what is actually interesting about that, even if you lose the first game in your tournament, so you spend ages building this squad as it goes through each position, your goalkeepers, they choose goalkeeper, striker, choose striker, you do all that. Once you've done that, even if you lose your first game, you will get a prize that's equal to the amount of money you would have paid to get in. So you'll get something that's worth about 15,000 coins. Now, whether that's a special contracts pack or special consumables pack with 15,000 coins worth of consumables, or whether they just give you a player that's worth 15,000 coins, or they give you, you know, a special amount of packs or something that's worth that amount of coins, you know, something like along those lines. So you don't really lose anything when you try this, even if you're not the most amazing FIFA player in the world. You can still experience these players, you can still keep doing the draft mode, and you can still get something out of it. And there's also offline draft mode as well, which is also good, because a lot of people do quite like playing the offline Ultimate Team. I personally don't, but a lot of people do. And I guess a thing that puts me off playing it single player is just like, I'm using the same players as I am in my online team. It's just like, why don't I just play online? But with this, it's kind of like I can use any player. Potentially any player in the game could appear on this draft, and I could end up using them. I mean, Ronaldo could come up on, and that would be really enjoyable to do, even against the computer, I think. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. If you have any comments or any sort of ideas about what this means to you, any thoughts on this, any of this, just in general from the video, then let me know down in the comments, because obviously it would be good to hear your opinions. But let's carry on with the video. Now that we've spoken about the Ultimate Team side of things, I want to quickly drift over into the career mode, because I did a My Dream career mode video a couple of, like, last month or something like that, where I spoke about what I'd like to have in the game and what I'd like to have in the mode. And I was pleasantly surprised that EA actually announced a training sort of mode and a training system where you could sort of train certain players in certain categories of skills, you know, whether it's shooting or passing or goalkeeping, that sort of thing. You could train them up and try and get them better, because that's how it works in real life. Players don't just get better just by playing matches. They could, because that's pretty much how it works at the moment. When you play a match on career mode, your players grow over time, but with this you can advance their growth, which is more realistic, because in real life coaches and managers will train their players to improve certain skills. Like if a player's not particularly good at shooting and they need to be better at shooting, then the manager will say, hey look, why don't you do more shooting drills, and they'll improve their shooting eventually. I mean, I know that's what Felipe Coutinho did. I mean, in his first season at Liverpool he scored a couple of goals, but he wanted more. He wanted to bring more goals to his game, and he wanted to work on his finishing, so he did that in training. And if you saw some of his goals last season, like the one against Southampton and the one against Bolton, then you will see that he's definitely worked on his finishes, definitely improved it. And I just think that to bring that side of things to FIFA makes it even more realistic, which is what we want from career mode. And also adding into career mode is new sort of things to do with the transfer window, like short-term loans are now extended to 6 months rather than 3 months, and also there's going to be some sort of buyout clause agreement thing in the game where you will be able to find out a player's buyout clause, and if you offer that money you will be able to get him regardless of if the club just said no, we don't want to sell. Because in real life a lot of players do have buyout clauses where even if the club doesn't want them to sell them, they'll set a certain price tag on that player, and then if they get that offer they'll just think, you know what, we'll cash it in, we can spend the money wisely, that sort of thing. And I think that's great to add into career mode, because you go on sort of these, you try and offer for a player, you go on the transfer market, you try and buy a player. Like for example, on one of my career modes I tried to buy Royce, and I inquired with Dortmund and they sent me back a thing that's saying they wanted 75 million for him, which is a bit overpriced. And in real life I think Royce has a buyout clause of like 55 million or something like that. So just to have something more like that in FIFA, it will stop clubs from trying to get ridiculous money for certain players. And the final big change to career mode is the fact that they've added pre-season tournaments into the game, which is again more realistic and will help improve your prospects of sort of getting more money for your team, being able to buy better players, because no matter what team you'll pick, you'll be invited to maybe 3 or 4 different pre-season tournaments. Like I know they have the International Champions Cup, which is over in America, which they do yearly in real life, and this year's had teams like Manchester United, Tottenham, I think, no, it didn't have Tottenham actually, Manchester United, Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, all these kind of teams, LA Galaxy. It is great, and there'll be a lot of different tournaments like that on the game where you'll essentially play through the tournaments and you'll earn more money for your transfer budget, which will, all of it will go straight into the board. Doesn't take some of it like they do when you sell players. You get all of the money, and even if you sort of don't win the whole tournament, if you get out of the group stage, you get like a sort of a percentage of that. Maybe it's like 20% of it or 25%, that sort of thing. So it will definitely help you sort of earn more money for your club, because I feel like on career mode at the minute, if you start with a team that hardly has any money at all, there's just no way of getting it. Even if you sell your players, you hardly get anything, and that's just not how it works in real life, because clubs will have these sort of sponsorships and they'll take part in these tournaments and these, you know, tours around the world, going to all different sorts of places, and it just makes it a lot better. Because at the moment I feel like when you start, like I said, when you start a career mode with a lower team, you're screwed because you just can't get any money. And I just think the fact that there's going to be pre-season tournaments which clubs all across the world do take part in, it's not just a made up thing, and I just think it would make it more realistic and more sort of obtainable to get more of a transfer budget and to improve your team more early on, rather than having to wait a couple of seasons before you get more money essentially. I just think it speeds things up, it makes things a lot more fun, a bit more realistic, and overall just a more entertaining game. But anyway guys, I've rambled on for quite a long, so I'll let you go. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you enjoy my content in general. I talk about FIFA quite a lot and I do all sorts of videos, so go check that out on my channel and hit that subscribe button, which is somewhere, I have no idea where, just go with it, you'll find it. It's pretty apparent. Comment on what you think about FIFA 16. Do you think it's going to be a really good game? What have you seen from Gamescom and sort of other just news from FIFA in general? But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.